I'm Leo London. Welcome back to my channel, and I asked you guys in the Facebook group Yu-Gi Leo, check it out, join us if you want to talk about Yu-Gi-Oh, or I don't know, anything really, but as long as you're not a dick, it's totally fine. Just come and say hi. So I asked the group for questions, and I'm going to answer them all now because I couldn't think of anything else to do for this week. And it's really easy to do a Q&A. So question one was, when is the sealed only Dedede deck starting, and have I future-proofed it? Well, it will be starting at the end of this month is when the episode will air. I think the last Monday of this month is when it'll go live onto the Patreon, and then it'll be live for everyone else later that week on the Thursday. Have I future-proofed it? I haven't even current-proofed it, so I don't know. I've done no research on what the deck should be and what it does normally look like, because the whole point of sealed only Dedede is that I don't know anything about the deck. Like when I was in school, I didn't, or when I first started playing Yu-Gi-Oh, like when I was a little kid, I had no idea how to build a proper deck, and I like the idea of experimenting and learning as I go and changing my plans as I figure out things that don't work. So next, for those that don't know, I am also a professional wrestler, and if I can do it, I'm gonna slice in clips of me wrestling here.
Leo reversing it, taking control of the match. Whoa! Oh, and like you said...
And I was asked what my top 5 male and female wrestlers are right now. That's not all time because the answers would be very different. So top 5 male wrestlers right now: Daniel Bryan, Mike Quackenbush. I would say Kenny Omega, but due to strong personal bias, I omit him from any kind of list like this. Just thought I would note that. So Daniel Bryan, Mike Quackenbush. I don't know. I love Big E. Love him a lot. I love Brock Lesnar. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe the Revival, or whatever they're called now, FTR. Sure, sorry. Female wrestlers: Asuka, Liv Morgan, Charlotte Flair, Killer Kelly. I don't know. Kairi Sane. If I could create a summoning mechanic, what would it be? I wouldn't. I think there's already too many summoning mechanics. If anything, I would... I don't know. Like maybe create a format where we have a deck boss, like Commander in Magic the Gathering. So yeah, what was my first deck? My first deck was the original starter deck Yugi, because that's when I actually started playing. So I actually started playing when that was the only option. It was either that or Blue Eyes, and I like Dark Magician, so that's the one I got. And then by the time Joey and Pegasus's decks had come out, I had already stopped playing. So I got to be that age where I was too cool to play a kid's card game. And here I am at 33, still playing a kid's card game, so what did I know? How did I get into Yu-Gi-Oh? I believe I just watching the anime at some point came on TV, and maybe it was after Dragon Ball or something else that I was watching at the time, and yeah, just liked it. What do I think of Rush Duels? I don't know. I don't really have an opinion. I haven't played them at all. It looks interesting, and it's like Speed Duels but different, and that's good because Speed Duels suck ass, so that's fun. What has or how has Yu-Gi-Oh impacted my life? So if you were going to look at the very first episode of Yu-Gi-Oh on the channel, I just did it as a one-off video to talk about how I cope with social anxiety and things like that, and struggle with my mental health. And it would just give me a way to like get out and be social, and more importantly, where like nobody has to. There's no pressure on me to be like super social, because like we're all there for the context of the game. So I don't have to be super social. I could just sit there and like play the game, and that's all anyone cares about. Nobody cares who I am. Nobody cares about, I don't care who they are, and it's just kind of how it is. But yeah, it was just a way for me to get out and force social interaction. But I've made friends through it all and stuff like that. So I'd say that's how it's mostly impacted my life. But also it impacted my life in the sense that the direction of the channel rapidly changed. So that first video exploded, like 11,000 views or something, because in the original Magician's deck where people were playing the guard dragon combo and stuff like that, I messed around with it. I put this weird rocket combination in there just so I could get Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon on top of the deck the build that everybody was already doing. And for whatever reason, that's all it took for that video to explode. And it stopped being about my wrestling, which was what the channel was actually about, and then shifted completely to Yu-Gi-Oh! And now I have a Patreon, check that out in the description below, where people enjoy my content so much, and they want to help me keep making more. It's just crazy to think that that's happened, and I never thought it would. That video has gotten more views than any of my matches have. Even against guys like Kenny Omega and Honky Tonk Man, and my match with where Bret Hart was involved, and all this other crazy shit that I've gotten to do. It's got nothing on Crystal Wave Synchro Dragon. So yeah, I'd say that's how it's influenced my life the most. My favorite character in any series is Yugioh. My favorite character from the original series, I don't know. If I was going to do each one, I watched about 5 seconds of GX before I shut it off because I hated it. And Zexal, maybe I like Kite. The original, I probably like Mako Tsunami the most. I don't know. He seemed like somebody I would hang out with. He just seems like a cool guy. GX, I don't know. I guess Jack Atlas, because I haven't watched 5Ds really, and Jack Atlas, I think he's an Arc 5 character. I had that like little moment with Dylan. Thought that was pretty funny. Oh, and Vrain's Playmaker and Soulburner are my favorite characters by a large margin. Co-hosts. Have I ever considered getting a co-host? I have 2 co-hosts. Josh, say hi, Josh.
Hi.
And then Dylan will return to the channel shortly. Dylan was already in videos where we went to regionals together, and he took his Quasar deck in Master Rule 4, by the way, and topped the event to much applause because everybody wanted to see Dylan top with a Quasar deck, and he did, and everybody popped and went off on him. So it was really cool. And Josh, his series is a sealed-only Pendulum Magicians, which will debut probably the week after the first episode of sealed-only DDDs. And then what's my favorite card art? Man, I don't know. There's so many. There is so many. Like, most people know what my favorite cards are. The Clearwing Synchro Dragon, Dark Magician, Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon. I don't know. I couldn't pick one. Yeah, I can't think of anyone that's above. I would say that right now, probably Clearwing Synchro Dragon is my favorite card in the game. From an aesthetic appeal, I like how it looks in the show and stuff. I like that it doesn't have feet. I don't know why I like that so much, but if you look at like Stardust Dragon or Blue Eyes White Dragon, or even the Red Eyes Dragon, most of them have 4 legs, and I like that Crystal and Clearwing do not. And for whatever reason, that aesthetic really works for me. And what's really odd is I hate the color green and the fact that they have like green highlights, and I still like them so much anyway. Yeah. Top 3 Yugi tubers. Man. I guess the Kali Effect. I like him because his content is like, he's funny and he knows it, and I think he's funny in a very clever way. And his advice is solid. Farfa, he's really funny. And then, I don't know, like, there's lots of channels out there. Like Nim Nim for the sealed only thing, but aside from that, I don't watch his content at all. So maybe, I guess, Ruggles, I think, because his editing and stuff is just next level. He makes my videos look like shit, like absolute shit. And then top 3 ban lists. Now this is formats that I played in. Now I only returned to the game once, like, you know, Salmon Great and all that shit were like just introduced. So like I have no idea what other formats were like. So my favorite format was the one where Electromite was at 1 and Servant of Endymion was at 3, and you could really contend where my first deck list took off. That format it was probably my favorite format just because you know, it was really fun. But no other decks that I like in that format. I hate Sky Strikers. I hate Orchist. I hate, you know, Altergeist. Anybody who tries to tell me that Altergeist is an interactive deck can just fuck right off. Setting 5 and passing is not interactive. And then just going, okay, Floodgate, okay, Judgment. You're not being interactive. That is a bullshit excuse. And don't try and tell me that that is skillful play, because it's not. Good play, yes. Skillful, no. You do not need to know the timing of flipping over your fucking summon limit. Just fuck off with that shit. You know. Yeah. You never have to pivot with set 5 pass. How are you going to pivot? You're going to set 4? You don't have to change the entire direction of your turn on a moment's notice because somebody interrupted you. I just don't accept that as a legitimate argument. It does require some skill, but like, come on, don't sit there and pretend it's big brain. Yeah, so that's all the questions I got. So again, thank you for watching. Thank you for submitting your questions. Join the Facebook group. Search Yu-Gi-Oh! Leo on Facebook. You should be able to find me. I am at Leo London at PCW on Twitter and Instagram. And if you want to support the channel, subscribe and check out the Patreon below if that interests you. And yeah, we'll see you next time.